Summer is right around the corner, and some of you guys might be a little bit worried. Who knows? Maybe you stuffed your face with too much, pizza and burgers and beer and Twinkies and ho-hos, and next thing you know, it's like, man, now I'm really kind of dreading this. I got the man boobs, I got the spare tire, and hey, with summer coming around, I'm going to do my best to avoid any areas where I might have to take off my shirt, right? Maybe at the pool, maybe at the beach, because you're maybe not feeling confident in how you look and how you feel. Well, guess what? All right, I don't want you to feel ashamed and guilty anymore. I want to make sure that you have a plan to follow that's going to help you when it comes to losing more body fat. So that way, this summer coming up in just a few short weeks, hey, guess what? You have the confidence because you are looking and feeling your best. So what I want you to do next is very important. Pause this video and go grab a pen and paper because I'm going to share with you literally a step-by-step plan. 3 things that all you need to do is make sure you're crossing your T's, dotting your I's, and I guarantee you'll lose anywhere from 15 to, who knows, maybe even 50 pounds of fat within the next 90 days. And guess what? That's prime time for summer. Now, in case you're new to the channel, my name is Coach Joe. I'm a health and fitness coach, and I help guys in their 40s to 60s lose body fat, but most importantly, do so in a way where it's sustainable for their body types and their lifestyle. So that way they can learn how to reach their goals once and for all. So make sure to press that subscribe button and let's dive right into these tips. So tip number 1 is going to be training, right? So we're going to break things down in terms of training, nutrition, but also a form of accountability that's really going to help you out when it comes to having long-term success. So training, right? 3 things that I want you to do. 3 things. That's it, right? Just make a commitment, make a promise to say, hey, if I can lose 15 to 50 pounds in the next 90 days, I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to show up because there's going to be the outcome. There's going to be the results that you're looking for. And I'm trying my best to make this as easy as possible where it's going to be also sustainable for you. You're not going to hear me say, do backflips and burpees and cut out your carbs and alcohol. No. I'm once again going to make this super easy for you, okay? So 3 things, make a promise, make a commitment to yourself. You got this, okay? So the first thing is this. I want you to do some form of strength training at least 3 times a week. And this could be either done at the gym, this could be done at home, this could be done with or without equipment, it could be just bodyweight calisthenics, but anything like that. It doesn't need to be a long time, right? Like 3 times a week, 30-minute workouts, like you need that, right? You need to build a muscle, right? And the reason why it's so important is because that's going to help us lose more body fat, but also the older we get, hey, we want that muscle. The last thing that we want to be is in our 80s and it's like, hey, we have no muscle on us, just a whole bunch of body fat. Well, what happens if you fall down the stairs or anything like that? If there's no muscle, you're going to be more higher risk for, let's just say, injuries. We don't want that, right? We want to make sure the things that we're doing today, it's sustainable and it's going to be helping us down the road the older we get, okay? So first thing, once again, strength training at least 3 times a week. Second, right, is to make sure that you're getting some form of movement in, right? So movement, aka steps, aka NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, whatever it is that you want to call it. You can call it cardio if you want. Who cares, right? Just make sure you're getting in enough steps. And honestly, if you want to lose about 15 pounds, right, bare minimum in the next 90 days, I recommend getting at least 10,000 steps in a day. Okay? You can do it. Just think about it in terms of this. Hey, can I park farther away from work? Can I take the stairs rather than the elevator? Can I just play around with my kids more, right? And maybe just walk around the house. Very easy to do. Just make sure it's a priority to you. And I promise you, right, you're going to be able to accomplish it, right? And the third thing that I want you to do, and this is actually like a little bit of a, incentive, just kind of help you out, right? Is give yourself a daily habit that is like geared towards your goals. So a lot of guys that we coach, it's like, hey, they want to have, more chiseled chest. They want to lose more body fat in, let's say, their midsection. So we'll give them a habit to do. And maybe the habit is like, daily push-ups. And maybe that's like 100 push-ups a day. And if you think about it, you can break that up throughout the course of the day into like 10 sets of 10. So it's really easy to do, Or it's, hey, maybe using an ab mat and doing some ab crunches, like 100 a day, or daily ab circuits, something like that. So I recommend that if you just follow through and add in a habit, a daily habit, that's going to help you with, once again, better, faster results, but maintaining that success long term because, hey, if you're able to make a habit out of it, it's very easy to do, especially if it's, sustainable for your body type and your lifestyle. Okay. So to summarize, 3 tips when it comes down to training, right? You want to make sure you're strength training at least 3 times a week. You want to make sure that you're focusing, right, on more movement, getting in more steps, at least 10,000 steps in a day, and then a daily habit. Maybe it's push-ups, maybe it's sit-ups, whatever floats your boat, okay? So now let's go into part 2, which is all about nutrition, and this is the most important part, so please make sure that you're taking down some notes, okay? I'm not going to be the coach that's going to tell you or advise you to cut out your favorite foods or cut out your carbohydrates or cut out the alcohol. No, right? You can go find and watch a different coach's video, okay? I'm the coach that's going to help you create sustainable habits once and for all when it comes to reaching your goals. So with that being said, pay close attention, okay? Part 1 to this for the nutrition, aspect is focusing on a calorie range. And hear me out. You need to make sure that you're sticking within that calorie range, especially a deficit if you want to lose body fat. If you're eating in a calorie maintenance or eating in a calorie surplus, sorry, right? But you're not going to be losing body fat. So you want to make sure that you're, in a deficit, but the right deficit. If you just cut out all your food, you might be losing your muscle. You don't want to do that, right? So it's like you want to make sure you're eating the right amount of calories and macros, right? Once again, don't get all confused just yet. Take down notes. I'm making this very simple for you, okay? In terms of what to do and how to do it. When you're able to dial in like that, and then we talk about the last part, which is like the secret sauce here, that's going to help you out tremendously when it comes to losing body fat and once again, keeping it off, okay? So calories, how do you figure that out, right? Like what is the calories I should be eating for my body type? Once again, with this being just a video, nothing really personalized for you and not knowing anything about your, eating habits, I recommend taking your body weight and multiplying it by, let's just say 8, or multiplying it by 9, or multiplying it by 10, or multiplying it by 11, or multiplying it by 12, okay? That's going to be a good deficit for starters, okay? 8, really aggressive when it comes down to your calorie range. But once again, like maybe you're somebody that, hey, you don't work out a lot. So you're not exerting a bunch of energy in terms of training and cardio and all these different things over here. So you're just sedentary lifestyle. Hey, maybe taking your body weight and multiplying by 8 is perfect for you. So that way, hey, you're losing the body fat based on the nutrition, not so much the training. Now, if you're somebody that does work out, right, and you should be, because, hey, that's going to help you lose more body fat and obviously help you when it comes to, speed up your metabolism, more definition, more confidence. I mean, come on, let's face the facts here, right? Guys want more muscle. You want to make sure, okay, that you're focusing on, I don't know, maybe taking your body weight and multiplying by 10 or 12, because once again, you don't want to be eating too low to where you're not eating enough to maintain that muscle. That's very key. This is where a lot of guys struggle with having a slow metabolism because they don't know this knowledge when it comes down to nutrition for their body type and for their goals. Okay, so part 1, hey, focus on the calories, okay? Now part 2 to this, right, for the nutrition is focus on the macros. And don't worry about the carbs, don't worry about the fats, trust me, right? Like we coach so many guys, right, even type 2 diabetics that are eating plenty of carbohydrates. It's all about balance. And what you really want to do here, right? You already have your calorie range. You already figured that out, right? Taking your body weight, multiplying that between, 8 or 12, right? Based on your activity. Well, now let's figure out on the macros, okay? So what we want to focus on is more protein. Protein is going to help us feel more fuller longer. It's going to help us lose more body fat. It's going to help us, maintain that muscle. We want that, right? We want the protein. That's essential here when it comes to all this, okay? Take your body weight and multiply it by at least 0.1, at least. Now, I'll be honest, right? The bare minimum is 0.8. But remember, we're trying to lose anywhere from 15 to about, 50 pounds of fat here in the next 90 days, right? So let's make it a little bit aggressive here. So take your body weight and multiply it by just, 1, okay? So what does that mean? Well, hey, if I'm 200 pounds, I'm having at least 200 grams of protein each and every day, okay? So if you can do more, though, I recommend that. If let's say you can do, let's say 1.2 or 1.5, like you're in a good sweet spot there. I don't recommend taking your body weight and going anything higher than 1.5 when it comes down to protein. You just don't need all that protein, right? So take your body weight, multiply it by either, 1 or let's just say like 1.5, something like that. That's going to be in a good prime threshold of like how much protein you should be consuming each and every day. Remember, it's going to help us, have more muscle, speed up our metabolism, lose more body fat, okay? And now this is very important in terms of sustainability for this next part, what I'm about to say. So pay close attention, okay? It's applying the 80-20 rule. So it's like, hey, you have your calories, you have your macros, which is your protein, and then you have your 80-20 rule. So what does that mean? Well, guess what? If we're able to, focus on, let's say, sticking within this calorie range, we're able to, let's say, hit this protein goal that I just gave you, and we have so many excess calories left over, right? So maybe your overall calories is 2,000. Maybe you're trying to have like 220 grams of protein in a day, all right? Well, if you have all this extra, carbs and fats and, extra calories, hey, guess what? You can use it however you want. And how we recommend for our clients is just applying the 80-20 rule. Hey, 80% of the time, you're eating your wholesome, healthy foods. 20% of the time, you're having your sanity foods, right? You're having the alcohol, you're having the pizza, you're having the burgers, right? You're having it in moderation, which is key for, once again, sustainability. Odds are, I don't know, maybe you tried a few different diets out there. Keto, paleo, carnivore, all these things where you're cutting out your sugar, you're cutting out your carbs, and what happens, right? You're able to have some success, but then eventually hit a stall, hit a plateau, and fall off the wagon and regain the weight right back. So when you apply the 80-20 rule, guess what? You're not going to regain the weight right back because you're never going to fall off the wagon. It's sustainable for you and your lifestyle. The third and final part is the accountability, right? So with accountability, like this is honestly the glue that holds this all together. It's having the right people that is going to hold you accountable and support you and encourage you. That way, like if you fall off the wagon, you're not going to be there for a long time. You're going to have people that's, reaching out their hand to help you up. And once again, supporting you, encouraging you, that's going to help you out, right? This is, once again, the glue that holds this all together. So maybe for you, that is like your family members. And maybe it's like you got some coworkers even, somebody that is like, hey, are you doing the right things? Like, are you eating healthy? Are you hitting your protein goal? Are you doing your workouts? Like, are you doing this? And maybe you're dealing with some kind of stress in your life, and that's preventing you from staying consistent with your health and fitness goals. It's preventing you from staying on track. Like this is another reason why you need to have a form of, accountability and community and support, because when you're dealing with those stressful days, just getting stuff off your chest and talking to people and just like finding out like, okay, hey, what adjustments can I make to make things a little bit easy just because my schedule is a little bit busier more than normal, or, oh man, I'm sick or injured. Like, what can I do differently to still help me progress? That way, once again, like you're not on your own, stranded all on the island all by yourself. Think about it like playing basketball 1 against 5. You're probably not going to win. Think about it like going out to war and just front of the battle line, right? All you by yourself. Like there's no army, there's no military behind you, no brothers in arms. I don't think you're going to win that battle, right? So when it comes down to accountability, community is key. And the second part is making sure that you're tracking and, logging your data. Like if you're just eating clean, but you're not actually eating the right calories and, the right amount of macros, and let's say you're not like logging anything with your workouts, you're never going to form on any progression. It's kind of just like you're taking spaghetti, right? And just kind of throwing it up on the wall and hoping and praying something sticks. Like tracking, it could be essentially like the number one thing that you need in order to see results firsthand. Like if once again, you just think you're eating clean, but you're not eating enough of the right foods or hitting your actual goals, that could be the one thing that's just stopping you, is preventing you. And maybe, I don't know, like you don't know about your goals. Like maybe you don't know what you should be doing or how to be doing it, because maybe you tried different diets and training programs and you never really had any success. And you're like, okay, hey, well, I know summertime's coming up. Like I want to lose weight and I want to, look good with my shirt off. I want to have more confidence. But maybe you're also at a point where you're like, all right, I don't want to go through this alone and just struggle and do trial and error of going to Google and YouTube and figuring out like what is going to work best, right? It's like maybe you just want some guidance. Maybe you just want some people in your corner just to kind of help you out. And if that is something that you are interested in learning, how to lose body fat, how to build more muscle, how to improve your metabolism, how to get off your medications, how to have more confidence, and once again, just learn how to create sustainable habits that work best for your lifestyle, then click on the link down below, schedule a strategy call with our team. That way on that call, we can learn a little bit more about your health and fitness goals and just figure out, if it makes sense for us to work together and if we can actually help you have success. I really hope that you guys got a lot of value from today's video. And as always, this has been Coach Joe with Heartletics.com. I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Peace out, Girl Scouts.